Hello and welcome to Bold Badass Business, where we bring you badasses from all over the world. And today, you all, we are a few minutes late with the broadcast because guess what? We've got badass Hurricane Helene coming through North Carolina. A tree fell in my neighbor's backyard. We had a huge boom this morning and no electricity. So here I am in my gorgeous new studio at the Caribou Coffee because guess what? The show still goes on. Just when shit hits the fan, when the crap hits the fan, we still stand up and we go on, right? And that's how we keep it. That's how we bring it, right, Elvira? Bring
That's
it.
right, sister. I love it.
We bring it. So, you all, I have to tell you, this woman is a fireball. Fireball, like that song goes.
Me? How about you?
Well, we're both fireballs, but let me tell you, I think I have a lot of energy. Elvira is amazing. We met in a networking event like this competition, and I immediately picked her out as one of those
Oh my,
wild
you
energy.
were amazing. You stood out, baby. You stood out. You should have won. You should have won.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, you know what? I don't do well with towing the line. I think I
I
was a little
know.
bit
I
too
know.
much.
And that's probably the only reason you didn't get it. But
I
anyway, we'll
did.
leave that. We'll drop that for
We'll
now.
leave
Yeah.
that. It doesn't matter. Let me just say on Bold Badass Business, we don't censor ourselves. We speak the real no bullshit reality about life and business. And that's how I want it. Because we're real people. And I'm
Yeah.
so tired of the posturing and
Oh,
everything is fine that's going on Facebook, etc. So today, you all, Elvira, let me just tell you, she is an award winning life coach. She's an author and speaker. She's also an award winning jazz artist. And, she's the kind of person who can take any situation and help you find the gold, not just the
mm.
gold, but the platinum, so that you can move forward, right? The platinum,
You're
the
gonna
big
make me cry. Yeah.
rubies. And the truth of the matter is, like, you know, life throws a shit sometimes. And sometimes we feel like, oh my God, I am such a crap magnet. And that's what we're talking about today, how to go from crap magnet to miracle magnet. So, welcome to the show, Elvira.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Barnsley. You're amazing. I just want to salute you because honestly, you're a force, just a force in general, but a force for good in the world. And I so vibe with your vibe and God bless you and everything you do. So
Oh, yeah, I am blessed. So
yeah.
blessed. You know what? Everything in my life, even just a limb, not a tree, falling on our house today is just
Oh wow.
so. There's so much to be grateful for,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
what we focus on increases. And I
Yeah.
figured that's probably one of the things we may talk about today. So, tell me, Elvira,
Amen.
about when you felt like a crap magnet. Let's hear
Mm.
the dirt on this. Should I
Oh
say
my gosh.
the
Well,
cookie?
Barnsley, I have a story, a unique story. I call it From Crap Magnet to Miracle Magnet that talks about when I was a little girl and I saw a bunch of beautiful women singing and dancing on stage. And I told my daddy who could sing better than Pavarotti, but never did anything with his music. I said, Daddy, I want to be one of them when I grow up. And my dad looks at me and says, You can't be one of them because those women are sluts. And
Oh,
that was it. I was
daddy,
shut
bad,
down.
bad
I
daddy, bad
yeah,
daddy.
I wasn't allowed I wasn't allowed to be me. I know he was just trying to protect me, and he was just, towing the company line that his parents told him, right? Like, his parents said, "Good men are not on stages. Good men are good husbands and fathers and providers." Right? So he had to do what he was expected to do. He was the people pleaser. He was the nice guy, right? My dad was the ultimate nice guy. Everybody loved him, but did he love himself? Maybe not so much. He wasn't
Can I
able to
ask
be
you
fully.
something? Is he still
Yeah,
alive,
go ahead.
Vera? Is he still alive?
Is he? No, he's not. He's been gone
Let's
12
call him
years.
and tell him he did a bad thing. No, I'm just kidding. But
No,
let's call
no.
him in the grave. But let me ask you this: did he develop a disease? Did he?
Yes, he did. And
Did he get
that's what I was
cancer?
going to share.
Did he
Our
get
body
cancer?
keeps score. When we live out of alignment, when we're not doing what we were brought here to do, when we're people pleasers, giving our power away, guess what? Our body keeps score. Our cells know that they're living out of alignment, doing someone else's truth, living someone else's truth, not our own. Am I right?
Yes, and he died of cancer, right?
He
Because
died of two
cancer,
cancers.
two cancers.
two cancers,
Cancers are about
and mental health
stored
issues.
anger,
Yeah,
stored anger. And guess what? When you're a people
yeah,
pleaser, you
yeah.
get pissed off. Even if you look like you're nice on the outside,
Yes,
stuff
exactly.
that shit turns into some kind of dis-ease in the body, and especially I've seen it time after time into anger that
Yes,
translates into some form of cancer. I have my own story here, but let's
yeah,
go back to Elvira. So your
yeah,
dad had cancer
yeah.
is was Mr. Nice Guy,
Mr.
Mr.
Nice Guy got cancer
Walrus.
because he was not living in alignment, Barnsley. And so back to my story. So, when I walked away with my dad from that show and he told me that I couldn't be one of those women, right away I realized, okay, Dad, I'm not allowed to be who I want to be. Who do you need me to be so you will love me? And that's when I became the people pleaser. And that's when I started living out of alignment as an imposter, right? So I learned real fast that he needed me to be the good little Italian Catholic girl, get good grades, get a good career, get a good husband, and give him some grandchildren. Well, guess what, Barnsley? I checked off all those boxes and I wanted to die at rock bottom. There was my last 2 years of my I chose not one, but 2 solid healthcare careers, first in cancer research, interestingly enough, and then in big pharma. Those 27 years living out of alignment as a crap magnet, I struggled with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, bipolar. I was bullied, eating
You said,
disorders. Like, my
wow.
life. What's that?
I said,
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I looked very shiny on the outside, right? Because I looked like I had it all, right? This nice looking girl that had this good career, working,
Yeah.
she wore a white lab coat. Everybody thought I was a doctor in this hospital. I was a lab tech, but everyone thought I was a doctor. My dad was proud of me because I was accepted by society, right? And that's what happened, right? Because we came to Canada when I was 5, so he came to Canada to bring his children a better future. And by gosh, by golly, I was going to have to fit into his expectations, his box, rather than he go, okay, I wasn't able to be an artist, but my daughter sure as hell is going to be, right? But no, that wasn't nurtured. That wasn't nurtured because I was supposed to toe the company line, the family company line my grandparents put out, which was, we are serious people. We are not artists, right? So that was the mindset. That was the mindset. And so that
Oh
was
my
generational
God.
trauma. That was generational
It
trauma.
is. Well, it's also the squelching of your soul, your
Yeah.
spirit, you know. And
Mhm.
here's the thing: I heard it said once, and I too have suffered from depression. We just speak it here, and I've suffered from anxiety. And I like to
Mhm.
laughingly say, I've said it different times in my life, I'm the most optimistic depressed person I know.
Ah, me too. That's why we got along. Yeah.
Right. And y'all, sorry, I don't have a stand here in the coffee shop
Oh,
right
that's
now. Hurricane
okay.
Elaine is coming through, so if I'm swimming a little bit, just I'll try to keep. I'm holding up the phone, but the show must go on. We don't want
The
to
show
exhaust.
must go on. I'm an actor too, so I
Oh,
know that the show must go on. Yes.
life must go on. I just, I don't. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm gonna I'm gonna strip off my clothes, paint myself naked, and run down the highway if I have to make it happen. Seriously, that's just,
You're amazing.
no back doors,
Yeah.
no exit
Yeah.
strategy. So I love that you're sharing about depression, anxiety caused by taking on other people's scripts for
Mhm.
your
Mhm.
life, which so often happens to people, from our parents, from education, from just societal scripts, stuff we
Yeah.
see in the media, that tacit acculturation of the media.
Oh,
And it becomes so important to separate ourselves. But I've
yeah.
heard it said that depression is the gap between where you are and where you really want to be.
Oh my God, what a great way. I've got to write that down. Depression is the gap. Okay, I love that.
Between where you are and where
Ooh,
you really want to be. Or
yeah.
to say it another way, you could say depression is expression of the gap between who you are and who you
Mhm.
really want to be.
Oh, I
I.e.,
love
taking off
that.
all the masks, taking off all the veneers, all the shit
Yes.
society puts on you.
Oh my God. You speak the truth, sister. Amen to that.
Speak
That
it.
is,
you know so what I hear is, like, you loved your dad, you wanted to
oh,
be his
so
good
much.
little girl, you wanted to be
I
a
was
good
a,
little Catholic girl.
yeah. Yeah.
You we're gonna breed more Catholics, because that's how it goes, right? We breed some more, we create more Catholics. Don't use birth control. Create more Catholics. I am definitely offending people right now, but that's okay, y'all. So,
The
Elvira,
irony is I'm not Catholic anymore, and that's what saved my life at rock bottom.
oh
But
my
anyway,
God.
I'll talk
All
about
right.
that
So
if you
you
want me
have to
to.
tell us about that. So, what was
Yeah.
that moment you hit rock bottom and what made the change for you? What was your wake up call?
Yeah, that's a great question. So yeah, so like I said, my last I went through 27 years living out of alignment, but my last 2 years were really interesting because I saw a friend leave the pharmaceutical industry to become a life coach. And I
Hmm.
didn't know what the heck a life coach was at that time, but I saw how happy she was and how grounded she was and how beautiful she was because I knew her when she was a drug rep and we were both like very masculine energy, go, go, go. And she had like these deep furrows here and she had like this really angular jaw. And basically, she was a man, right? She was a man, in a woman's body. But all of
Yeah.
a sudden, I see her, and she left the pharma industry. I got poached to go to another company, and I hadn't seen her for a while. And all of a sudden, she has this party at her house, and I'm like, "What have you done? You look amazing, right?" And she goes, "Well, Elvira, in the last year, I've left the pharmaceutical industry to become a life coach." And I'm like, "What the hell's a life coach, right?" And she goes, "Well,
Now
you
you're
help
a
people
sexy
go."
life coach. Now she's
Let's
a
say that
sexy
again.
life coach. She's a sexy life coach now because she's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
alive.
So, yeah, yeah. So she talked about how you help people go from where they are to where they want to be, right? And I'm like, and she goes, and she started talking about it, and I'm like, that sounds like La La Land. You get paid for that? And she goes, yep, I get paid really well for that. And I'm like, okay. So that night, Barnsley, I put it out in the universe. I said, I don't know what the heck she did, but one day I'm doing it too.
I'm
So
having
that
what
was
she's
it.
having.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Just like when
When
Harry met
Harry
Sally. So what I did, according to my coach, AG Morishita, shout out to him. What I did that night is I punched a hole in the universe. I put out what it is that I wanted. And guess what? Now the universe was going to fill that hole with the how. And the universe didn't fill it with a how that was very easy, but it's what I needed to get me out of this six-figure, big falutin, highfalutin, big pharma job, right? So what
Yeah.
happens? The next
Oh, let
something
me
else
pause you
very
because you just said something very
yeah,
profound, and I
yeah,
want to repeat it because it was a
sure.
gem. You said you punched a hole and put the call out into the universe, and you let the
Yes.
universe fill it with how. Because
Yes.
so often people get worried about the how. When you want to start a
Yes.
business, passionate life,
Control, right? Control. Yeah.
worried about the
Yeah.
how. Like, how is this going to
Yeah.
happen? How can I get the money? How can I get the clients?
Yeah.
How can I blah blah blah? You know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the matter is, we need to chart where we're going, and then let the universe begin to unfold the how.
Exactly.
So what
Exactly.
you said is
We
very
just need
powerful.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. We just need to take the next step, the next step, and the next step. It will be shown to us. The universe doesn't
Yes.
reveal it all in one shot because because our ego needs that, right? Our
We'd
ego
be
needs
overwhelmed. If
yeah,
we
yeah.
saw that, if I had saw Hurricane Helene has messed with my grammar too. If I had seen, if I had seen all the shit I would have had to do in these 24 years in business, because I just celebrated my 24th anniversary, 24.
Yay,
Yeah,
congrats. I'm
right,
just over
crazy.
13. Yeah. Okay. I
And
bow down.
I
I
had
bow
known
down.
all the stuff, all the obstacles, all the challenges, all the things that would have happened
Mhm.
along the way. If I had seen all of that, if I had seen the whole how,
Yeah.
I would have said no, no way. Let me just stay in
Right?
academia and squelch my spirit and pretend that
Yeah.
I'm not a wild feminist, you know. Um, so yeah, if
Yeah.
we see it
Amazing.
all, if we try
Yeah.
to see it all, the ego's role is to keep us comfortable, and the ego will say, "This is too much. Don't do it. Don't start.
Yes. And how's
Don't
that
leave
gonna
your
happen? That's what the ego says. How's that
don't
gonna
have that
happen,
baby
right?
at age 40." Think about it, people. Y'all listening, I want you to think about your ego is not your friend because
No.
it just wants to keep you safe at the expense of your happiness. That's what I'm hearing
Exactly.
in your story. So,
Yes.
Elvira, what was the first thing you did when you were
Yeah.
like, oh,
So I wanna
F
say
this?
something about yeah, I wanna say something about what you just said, Barnsley. You said your ego is not your friend. I like to say your ego is not your amigo.
I love that. That's hilarious. Your
That
ego
comes
is
from
not.
another mentor of mine, Colin Sprake. Your ego is not your amigo. Anyway, but yeah, but this is it. And I love what you said because it's like, yeah, if I had known all the stuff that I would have to go through, I probably would have said, no, I'll just stay in pharma. But no, there's no way I could have stayed in pharma because my last 2 years were a total shit show because that was the universe smacking me over the head with a cast iron frying pan to get me the heck out of an inauthentic life to live my truth. I didn't listen to the whispers. I didn't listen to the talking. I didn't listen to the shouts. I had to be hit over the head with a frying pan to leave that industry. So here's how it happened. Okay. I put it out in the universe that night. I want to do what she's doing. And then the next week I go to work and my boss that hired me at the highest salary, biggest car, biggest bonus, biggest benefits. I was all that in a bag of chips. My head was so big. I don't know how I got through doors. But anyways, my ego was huge. And so that guy that hired me at that level was mysteriously let go. Had I
Mm.
been a smart girl, I would have realized my mentor's gone. My life here is never going to be the same. Instead, you know what happens? This is perfect. It's like we arranged this beforehand. My ego kicks in, and I said, "Oh, maybe that's a sign that I'm meant to be the manager now." So I end up competing for the boss's job with a male colleague that was my work spouse. We got hired at the same time. This guy was awesome. And fun fact, he just took me out for sushi last Friday. But anyway, but he wasn't meant to be my nemesis forever. But I'm going to share with you how it happened that he became my nemesis. He was the guy that ruined my reputation in the company so that I would not get hired, so he would get the job. The irony was
Thank
that
God
they
for
did not
him.
hire. They
Thank
did
God
not
for
replace. What's
right.
that?
Thank God for him.
Oh,
Thank
I
God for
know.
leaders. He
Yeah,
saved
I'm gonna
from.
get to that.
That's
He
my
was my
core.
biggest he was my biggest angel of evolution, Barnsley. He
Oh
forced
wait,
me to
help
evolve.
me, Elvira. Stop. I got Angel of Evolution. Oh
Yes,
my
yes. That's a
shout
powerful mic drop. Yes.
us from Dubai. I'm so glad you're here, Michael. What do you think of Angel of Evolution? That's some big stuff she's laying down. What do y'all think? Angel of Evolution. I love that. I'm
Yeah,
bar.
yeah. He was my biggest angel of evolution because he forced me to leave because I was so uncomfortable in that position, being bullied corporately. Nobody's talking to me anymore. I went from being the highest paid, most valued rep to a piece of dirt. I and because I was the people pleaser that needed outer validation like I needed oxygen and everybody hates me, guess what? I go to a dark place mentally. For 2 solid years, I was bullied corporately and because I had a kick me sign on my back, right? Because that's what happens when we're vibrating at victim level. We have a kick me sign on our back. Another a bully in my life saw that sign and she starts bullying me. So I used to dance professionally for our Toronto football team. Okay, so I'm a former CFL cheerleader,
Are
and
you?
I
Oh,
wanted to be a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader back in the days, but my parents wouldn't move to Dallas, so I became a CFL cheerleader. But anyway, so within this group of former cheerleaders, the mean girl in this group, the one that told everybody who they could like and couldn't like and all that, I used to be part of her inner circle because when I was happy and living, out of alignment with a big smile on my face, pretending everything was okay, right? Ego running my show, just like all the other cheerleaders, God bless them, but ego runs a lot of their shows. When I was that person, she loved me, she accepted me, right? Because I was vibrating at her level. But when I shifted, I went into this dark, dark place and she no longer invited me to the parties. And in fact, she invited my friends, my so-called friends, over to her party so they could talk shit behind my back.
well,
And
maybe
that
it was
is how,
like a pity party, and it's a good thing you didn't go.
oh yeah.
Sorry, I
No,
just
but this was all meant to happen. These two people that bullied me corporately and socially, they were my biggest angels of evolution. Because you know what? Back then, I was such a freaking crap magnet. I would have kicked me too. Okay. I was vibrating so low that I would have kicked me too. Honestly, I don't talk about that too much, but I would have.
me think about what it says in the Four Agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz. I love that book. It's one of my favorite books.
Yes, it's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, if you all haven't read it, those of you listening, definitely go and purchase the Four
Good book
Agreements.
to pick up. Yeah.
Just phenomenal. And there are other ones like the Four Agreements at Work, etc. That just get the basic one. The Four Agreements is so good.
Yeah.
But what he
That's
says is no one can ever abuse you more than you abuse yourself.
Right? Oh
Think,
my God. That's what happened. I was
yeah,
abusing myself because I was living so out of alignment and I wouldn't leave that job because it's like, well, I'm making six figures. What else am I going to do? Right. And honestly, it was embarrassing because I just got out of bed to feed my child and get him off to school. And I would go back to bed. And Barnsley, I was supposed to be calling on doctors. And it was awful to live like that for 2 years. God knows how I hung in there for 2 years, but it's all I knew.
glad you
And
did,
so,
Elvira. Let's celebrate you're still here. I mean,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it is often, I want to just say this for everybody listening. Sometimes we get super deep on here, and we've even cried on the show for sure about trauma because think
Yeah.
about trauma and your drama or what
Yeah.
up to your purpose. I very
Yeah.
firmly believe that. And when we get through it, our role is to help someone else. I went
Exactly.
through so much in my
Exactly.
business. I doubted myself. It took me over 10 years to get into six figures and then longer to get into multiple. And it's
Yeah.
like when we get to use our trauma and our drama,
Yeah.
and Graciosi says, make your mess your message, but I'd
Yeah.
say trauma and your drama, and that
Yeah.
deep within ourselves, we understand what it feels like to be
Oh
to
my
be
God.
suffering, to be frustrated, to not be having
Yeah.
the success in our businesses or our lives, to want
Yeah.
to get in the bed and not get
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lay because you have no energy, right? Which
Yeah.
is things depression
That
does.
was me. That was
LV,
me.
what made the difference? Because how this is that shift from crap magnet, and as you said, we're vibrating at a certain level, and then other people pick up on it, and they
Yeah.
know. It's just like when you have rapists, right? I hate to say this, or
Yes.
people
I know. I know.
that
I know
crime
what you're talking about.
for a certain type of person, and they look for a certain profile, and
That's it.
we fit an energetic profile of I'm a victim. Guess what? There are
Yes.
going to be plenty of people showing up and saying, "Hey, I'll help you.
That's
I'll help
it.
you."
That's it. And we basically we basically have this kick me sign on our back that nobody
Yeah,
we can't read, but everybody else can, right?
right.
So that's what's happening. And so I
And
totally agree with you. We don't
complain,
want to
right? The
say
more
that
we
again.
complain, the worse it gets. The more we complain, the worse it
Yeah.
gets, right? It's complete.
Exactly. That's like a spiral downward because it's
Yeah.
law of attraction. It's law of attraction in action. So anyway, so what happened is, here I am and I'm being bullied corporately. I attracted another bully socially. I go to a dark place mentally. I thought at my rock bottom, I thought my one and only child was better off without me in his life as his mother. That's how bad it got. He's 29 now. He's doing really well because fortunately, I got out of that dark place. But at that time, I thought he was better off without me. Can you imagine how dark it was for me back then? It was horrific.
I'm
It was
feeling it.
horrific.
For
Yeah.
us to desert our children, and not
Oh,
our children, but our furry children, everybody
yeah.
listening, if you ever find yourself there, tell a friend, tell
Yes.
a friend, call and get help.
Yes.
Call NAMI, the National Association for Mental Illness. I think that's the acronym is
Yeah.
NAMI. Go get help. I remember
Yeah.
when it Elvira. Thank God I had a friend who had been through this, and she'd asked me to go to the doctor with her some years earlier. And so I had no problem telling her, you know what, I'm really depressed. I don't want to be here. I'm not going to hurt
Yeah.
myself, but I don't want to be on the planet. This was
Yeah.
many
Me
years,
too.
right? Many years ago. Uh,
Oh,
and she said, I'm so glad you told me. And I said, I need your support right now. But we
yeah.
got to be real. And so many people are having crises right now. I see
Yeah.
so many people on the brink right now. And in fact, we have a couple of Airbnbs in our home. And
Nice.
I tell you, the last few guests, everybody has either been leaving a relationship or one
Oh,
had a huge surgery and she's in depression. Another one had
wow.
a, a restraining order and she had come to our house as like a safe haven. I mean, so
Wow.
many people on the brink right now. And so
Yeah.
many people on the brink in their business, which makes me so
Yeah.
sad. You know,
Right?
here to do that thing and you
Oh,
get to be remunerated for it. You
I
get to
know.
because you matter and your message matters. That's why I do what I do.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
like, how'd you get out of bed? Like
Oh
how?
my God. So yeah, I'm just gonna go back to talking about these 2 people because they were my biggest
Oh
angels
yeah.
of evolution. They
Oh
forced me to see that I could never work there ever again because
yeah.
I was bullied so badly that I had no alternative but to leave, right? So at rock bottom, I realized, "Oh my God, if I'm being bullied here and and look at this. This is so interesting. I had that night with my friend where I saw her leave, and then right away I started getting bullied. And then 2 years later, I said to my higher power, give me a way out of my hell. That's not drugs. Because my dad, he lived out of alignment, right? He could sing like Pavarotti, never did anything. He got bullied in his 50s, had a nervous breakdown. And the only thing he could do was go on meds for the rest of his life. He was on a very strong drug called lorazepam. Some people call it Ativan, and he had to go
Oh,
on that for the rest of
out
his
of
life.
van.
It's
I've heard
strong. It's a, yeah,
on the streets, right? Out of van, people try to get that on the streets. Out of
yeah, 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 exactly. It's
yeah.
a
Oh yeah.
he couldn't sleep without Ativan, right? So anyway, so I saw what drugs did to my dad, and I was a drug rep, and I knew what they do to our body. So I knew that drugs was not going to be the way for me. No disrespect to anybody who takes drugs for their mental health. All respect to you, but for me, it wasn't going to be an option, right? So I asked for a way out that wasn't drugs. That wasn't therapy because I'd had therapy when I was a young mom and I had mommy issues and I had to get over those. And so I know therapy works, but it took 2 freaking years and it was a little bit expensive, right? So
Oh
so yeah, so it couldn't be drugs, it couldn't be therapy, it couldn't be any of the other programs I'd done up until then,
yeah.
right? So I done this thing called I did Tony Robbins program. God bless him. He helped me when I went from the lab into big pharma. Thank God for him. He inspired me. But at rock bottom, his teachings didn't work anymore. I had done this thing called landmark education,
Oh
and
yeah.
those teachings worked till they didn't, right? I had been Catholic my whole life. Remember the good little Italian Catholic girl? And those teachings didn't work anymore. I was ready to die at rock bottom. I had suicidal ideation. But here's the thing, I had to hit that rock bottom because if I didn't, you know where I'd still be working right now? Big pharma. So I am so grateful for all the trauma, all the drama that allowed me to be bullied in 2 different areas of my life where I realized when I saw that, when I asked for that, give me a way out that's not all those things or give me a way of killing myself. You know what happened? I got all the downloads coming through. And I realized this was the love your vibe miracle mindset being divinely gifted to me.
Ah,
It is a divine, feminine, gentle rain soaks approach to doing our inner work. It's not in your face, Tony Robbins, landmark, Catholic,
right before.
patriarchal bullshit. It is a unique modality that was divinely gifted to me. And literally, I was able to see right away, oh my God, if you're being bullied over here and you're being bullied over here, who's the common denominator? You. And if you brought this on with your vibration,
Right.
sister, you're going
Uh,
to undo it with your vibration. And literally, that mindset shift allowed me to get all the other pieces. And sure enough, I was able to get a package out of this company. I was able to become a coach. And within a short time, I became a professional jazz artist at 51. My childhood dream at 11, I got to achieve at 51,
uh,
exactly 40 years later. So
okay.
that's how I shifted from crap
You're
magnet to miracle magnet.
a-
But the best part,
time out. I gotta say
say that
something.
again.
Oh, I gotta say something. Time out. Time out. I can't use my
Yes,
other hand
yes,
because time out. I really want everyone listening. Okay, good
yes,
job,
yes.
Elvira, because she is pouring her heart out. Y'all put some hearts here and give us some comments. Let us know. Are you hearing hope? Are you hearing inspiration? But you know what? What I hear here is I'm like, whoa, you took full responsibility. You said the common denominator here, thank you for the heart. I see some hearts coming in. The common
Mm,
denominator, me. And that's where, when we realize, okay, how I see the world
yes,
is how I see the world, but the world is not how I see the world. I can choose to see something different in the world. When we make that
yeah,
decision, we realize that we're really just seeing with our filters, and
yes,
we can take off the blinders. We can
yes, yes,
we put a burlap bag over our heads. Seriously,
yeah,
it's like kidnapped our soul and we got a burlap bag over our head. We can take the freaking bag off,
Yes.
change who we are and what we see in the world. And
Yeah.
that shift begins, just as you pointed out. And you had to hit rock bottom with those
Yeah.
two of evolution. I love that phrase. God,
I
that's
had no choice. I had no choice. Yeah.
well, yes, you did, Elvira. I'm
I
going to
could
say
have died. I could have died. Yes.
your choice was like just die of heartbreak or hurt
Yeah.
yourself,
Yeah.
and you chose not. You chose not. Azadeh says, "Hey, Azadeh, glad you tuned in. I love Azadeh. She my spiritual community. She said that's the
Oh,
first step to accept who is the source. Nothing
yes.
external, but internal me. hmm And the
Oh
good
my God.
we
Well, I
can't choose.
love that as a day. I
We
love that. And you know what I want to say to that? When
can't.
those people stopped bullying me because I started shifting, when I stopped bullying myself, they stopped bullying me. The dude from work, he took me out for sushi last week, like I said earlier, right? The gal on the cheerleading squad, the former cheerleader alumni, she thinks I'm great. She bullies other people, but she leaves me alone. You know why? Because I have become unbullyable. I have become unfuckwithable. Okay. And this is what I'm teaching kids too to do today. Okay. I did some I don't know what you want to call it, volunteer work at a kids camp this summer. And I spoke to two amazing groups of little girls, 11 years old, the age I was when I wanted to be a jazz artist up on stage. I told them, you get to choose. Do you want to be a crap magnet or do you want to be a miracle magnet? You
Mm,
get to choose. And they realized how powerful they are. And at the end, everybody's like, I'm a miracle magnet. I'm a miracle magnet because they realize that the power is within them. Like, is that not the coolest thing to teach children? Rather than teach them just don't bully, be nice. How about you teach them, don't be a victim and you're not going to get bullied?
I'm a
Mic
miracle.
drop.
I'm a powerhouse and a miracle magnet. Okay, my marketing mind has to say something really quickly. I hope
Yes.
you have magnets. I hope you have magnets. You give
I
me
do. You want to see mine? You want to see my magnet? It's
magnets.
so,
Let's,
do you want to see it?
yes, 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 yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay, let me go grab it. One sec, one sec.
So everybody, thanks for tuning in to Bold Badass Business. And make sure you stay to the end because guess what? We are going to have an incredible gift that is being given to us by our incredible guest, Elvira Hopper. And I'm going to give you access to the Bold Badass Business free call, and you're going to get thousands of dollars of gifts free. All right. Ooh, let's see. Oh my gosh, I got to put on my glasses. By the way, new glasses. What do you think, Elvira? Are they good? My new
Oh,
glasses?
they're beautiful. Yes.
I can't
Check
really
it out.
but I love the polka dots. But it says
I
I
am a miracle magnet. It's a magnet. And I gave these to each of my team members because I do have a team now that facilitate this beautiful modality in the world. And they're amazing. And we just had our retreat and I made this for each one of them with their favorite colors on it because I'm an artist, right? This is one way I get to express myself as a jazz artist, as a sacred sound healer. I also make jewelry. There's some of my designs there, right? So I'm
oh,
just creative because oh what I those are beautiful.
we're sisters from another mister. I knew that when we first met, I was like, we're sisters from another mister. Look, I
Oh
just
my gosh.
money for these
I
to do.
love those. I love those. They're beautiful. Yeah. So this is what happens when we get aligned, authentic, fully self-expressed.
This.
We get to be everything. We don't have to be a one-trick pony. My highest level coaching program, Barnsley, is called The Renaissance Human Unleashed. The tagline is why be one thing when you can be all things? And it's for those high net worth individuals that are making so damn much money and they look very shiny on the outside, smiling and the happy families and all of that. Meanwhile, it's a shit show on the inside. And the more that's in store, it might be burning a hole in their soul. Another mic drop.
Excuse me, I just sneezed.
Bless you.
Pardon me. Well, you know what? I want to relate this to business for a second, and I
Yes.
speak to this to everyone because I'm the badass business coach, and I'll tell you one
Mhm.
of the things everybody listening that has kept me in business for 24 years, making a profit, and every year seeing my profit gradually and sometimes way
That's
more
amazing.
increase. I'll tell you the difference. Everybody says niche, 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 or niche.
Yeah.
However
Yeah.
French niche, niche, whatever
Niche.
you want to say, niche, niche, tomato, tomato. say you need to niche down and you need to just have this one focus. But what has kept me in business and what has also helped me continue to work with incredible people has been offering business presentations, business coaching, Reiki, transformational trainings. And I'm really happy because Azadeh is going to be in the next one of those. Woohoo!
Nice.
Gonna have a ball. And
Woohoo, has a day.
offering products, right? And doing Airbnb because the people who come out of town,
Yes.
my
You're
home.
you're not a one-trick pony, Barnsley. Everything that's in you to do needs to come out of you, because when
Uh,
it does, you are happier, healthier, mentally and physically. Your relationships are better, and the world gets what you got because you have the courage to let it come through you. You are a conduit, right? That's how I became a pro jazz artist at 51, is I allowed myself to be used by spirit. It's not about me and my ego. It's how am I serving with my voice? That's what allowed me to become professional at 51.
I love it. And see, when one thing is up from the business vantage point, everybody, when one thing is up in your business, like you're feeling called to make jewelry, or you're feeling called to sing, or you're feel right now, I feel very called to do a lot with the show, a lot with podcasts,
Nice.
and also my children's book that I just finished. So what really,
Yay.
and by the way, the word Renaissance comes from renaissance, which is rebirth. Whatever
Rebirth. Yes.
to be birthed by you,
Yes.
go with it because in business some things are going to go down sometimes, like during COVID, I wasn't going to do hands-on work with people with,
Yeah.
and I wasn't concerned at all because guess what, I'm a badass business coach, and so that's when I got the time to
Amen.
start
Amen.
your long program in which I
I
help
love it.
more. It would not have happened if we had not had COVID,
I
Elvira.
love it. Same,
I
same
have
with me.
God use what, how can I help
COVID
nuts.
COVID had my business take off because two women came together that had done my online work, and they said, Elvira, your program, your course saved our life, and we want to share it with the world. So they created a beautiful 6-month program. I remember crying and saying, oh my God, that's how it gets shared with the world, not through me, through them. And now they're the people that created this beautiful 6-month program. It's called the Love Your Vibe Transformation Personal Evolution Solutions for Heart-Centered Humans. And they added their own magic. They made it even better. Eleanor Hayward and Jennifer Hawkins, shout out to them. And honestly, we, like so many people that graduate the program, want to become facilitators of this work. So that's how my team is
You're
growing.
going to end up licensing it. You're
Yes,
license
yes,
it, and you're going to have them be facilitators like John Maxwell and Mary Morrissey, all those people who facilitate and license. Well, they license new trainers, train them up, and then
yeah.
they, per year to educate
Well,
and have all the marketing stuff. I totally see it. Hey, Elvira,
yeah.
I've got to introduce you to Mary Gooden. Don't let me forget, okay? Because you all
Okay.
the pod, and I know she's doing a Reiki and writing retreat. I think she's actually there
Yes.
now, or it's coming up next week in Mexico. If
Nice.
I weren't going on the podcasters cruise, I would seriously
Yeah.
consider it. How cool is that? A Reiki and writing seminar? You will
Oh,
love.
that's right up my alley. I'm a Reiki and a writer. So yeah, I
So
do a lot of modalities, but yeah, that's one of them.
I want to ask everyone listening something, okay? I want to ask you because our goal, my goal always on the show is not just to have such a scintillating conversation with my guest, who's incredible, as you can tell, but to ask you, those of you listening, what are you hearing for yourself in the story that Elvira has told of just casting off the old that had been scripted onto her and having these angels of evolution who bullied her, but it got her out of big pharma, starting her
Yes.
starting her jazz career at age 51. Like your creative dream is still there. Doesn't matter how old you are. I'm 58 writing my first
Mm.
children's book.
No.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It wasn't
Yes.
something to do. I've written books, I've written articles, I've published a lot of stuff, but never a children's book. And that's what came out.
Oh, I love that.
But it was such a healing thing. So, those of you listening, what are you hearing for yourself? What big dream is inside of you that is wanting to
Yeah.
be birthed? Because guess
Yeah.
who's responsible for birthing it?
Yeah.
I'm pointing
I
at you
love
in case you're listening to this.
Yeah.
I'm pointing right at the camera because you are the one responsible for birthing it. And I
Yeah.
love, Vera, that you said, no more crap magnet. I'm shifting
Yeah.
my I'm raising my frequency. I will no longer bully myself into trying to
Yeah,
be not. And then all the externals began to shift because
exactly.
they can't, you know, if you're unbullyable, I love that word.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's the point? They eventually stop trying, and you
exactly.
all this stuff. So tell us where you are now, and we've just got
Oh,
a few more minutes. I want to make sure what,
yes.
but I want to make sure
Thank
we
you.
have time for
Thank you.
the goodies, y'all.
This has been this has been such an amazing conversation. And you're in a cafe. You're a freaking badass. Yeah, what's happening now, Barnsley, is that I am so blessed to lead this incredible team that facilitate the Love Your Vibe transformation. But the coolest thing, Barnsley, is they get to put their own modalities on my platform too, because that's why I worked in big pharma for 20 years out of alignment, because I basically got an MBA at that career, right? So I know a lot about branding and sales and marketing and promotion. The people that are helping people, they just want to plug and play. They don't want to figure out the back end of a business, right?
Okay, girl, you're speaking my language. I've been ranting. I have been ranting. I don't know if you've seen any of my lives on LinkedIn and Facebook, but I've been ranting because by the time people get to me, they have been bamboozled most of the
Yeah.
time out of a shit ton of money,
Yeah.
thousands of they're in debt, they doubt
Yeah.
themselves, and they don't know. They don't know where to
Yeah.
turn it. So our integrity in actually providing the results that we say we're going to provide, this is so essential. So what are
Yeah.
some results that you've seen women get in your program? Give us a little bit about that because I know
Sorry, what was I didn't hear what you said there. What are some of the results?
what are some of the results that the women
Yeah,
in your
okay. Great question. I actually have I just put this up on my interestingly enough, I have a Fab Friday. It's a newsletter I send every Friday in your inbox. I channel it on Thursdays, put it in your inbox on Friday. And I put these testimonials up because we just finished one of the programs with one of my new mentors. And basically, this is a the women that graduated, I would say almost none of them want to become mentors of this modality. And so here's one client testimonial. I'm going to read it to you.
yeah read
Uh,
it. I
yeah,
can't
I'm going to read it. This is Lynn Beaulieu McAllister. She's amazing. She actually works in Big Pharma right now, and she's looking to get out. And she's become a spiritual mindset life coach and a meditation teacher. So she wants to become a mentor of this as well. So she can put her modalities on my platform so that more people can find her because I'm going to bring her people because I'm a marketing machine, right? So that's what I say. We don't have to be one thing, we can be all things. And especially as entrepreneurs, I think you're going to agree with this. If we're one thing, we're sitting ducks. We need to do as many things and have many streams of income. I have seven, to be honest. So I'm a coach.
what it
I'm an
takes to
international.
there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Be a millionaire, you want to have 8 to 10
Yeah.
streams of income.
Oh my God. Let me write that down. Eight to
And this
10. I love it.
thing,
That's
this
fantastic.
from
That
Lisa.
is fantastic. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. Yeah.
I
Right now I have, go ahead.
hope coffee grinder isn't too loud, but um, Lisa Nichols was, and you know, she's African American, amazing motivational.
Yeah.
She tells the story of being around all of these luminaries who are all, by the way, white men, right? Except maybe
Yeah.
less. And and she was the only woman. And
Yeah.
they said, well, how's your business going, Lisa? And basically, one of the guys let her in on that secret that really you need 8 to 10
Oh my
streams of
God. That's
millionaire.
fantastic information. No one's ever told me that.
Have other people manage parts of them as much as possible, delegate it out. But
Yes, that's what I do. That's what I
now,
do.
and something's not popular anymore, like the example, the Reiki during COVID. No way was I going to put my hands on people or blow in their face as we
Yeah.
do the
Yeah.
ritual. You know, then just take the other things, the business
Yeah.
presentation.
That's right. You pivot. Yeah, exactly. I love that.
Like it doubled that. It was crazy because
Yeah.
I meant to do this mastermind that I have, the Make It Happen mastermind, but I had not gotten it done because I was so busy with the other stuff. That is one thing I would tell Elvira for you and me and everyone who is a Renaissance person and interested in so much like us. Do be
Yeah.
careful. Here's your caveat that focus is important.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, Elvira, that at different moments you have had a primary focus. Like at 51, you were focused on jazz. Am I right?
Yeah.
And more of your focus.
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
spin a lot of plates and I believe we can do everything, just not all at once. So we
Yes.
do have different focuses, right? And I always tell my clients, my team, my audiences, if it ain't in your JPG zone, it ain't your job. And what does JPG stand for? Joy, passion, and genius. Everything else needs
Passion.
to be outsourced. Yeah, isn't that great? So I only do what's in my JPG, and I have an amazing team that does the rest. And the things that they do on my team is what is in their joy, passion, and genius zone. So I just want people functioning in their JPG. The big leap. I love Gay Hendricks. Yes.
Gay Hendricks, got to hear him recently, and exactly what he says. He's like, we get comfortable in our zone of excellence, and we're really good at it, right? And then you have the zone of incompetence, the
Yeah.
zone of incompetence beneath that. Don't be there. But your zone of excellence is very tantalizing because
Yeah.
we're good at it. Like I was
Yeah.
a great teacher in academia. I was great at it. I enjoyed 75% of it.
Yes.
But my zone of genius was being able to create my own programs, work with people,
Yes.
and not grade them at my grades. F that. I wanted them
Yeah.
to develop themselves and compete with themselves. So your zone of genius to be there feels outside of comfort zone a lot of times.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're more reliable at the beginning and maybe
Yes.
make more money in our zone of excellence. Think about pharma for you.
Yes.
Get what we got to do, push through that zone of excellence, find
Yes.
genius
I
and live.
love that. I love that. That is another mic drop. Push through the zone of excellence to get to the zone of genius, or as my buddy calls the ZOG, zone of genius, right? Because it's a powerful place to be. And I'm forgetting his name, otherwise I would quote him right now. But yeah, that's exactly what's going on. So what's happening is that I have all these different things I do, right? I'm a coach, a life and business coach. I'm an international speaker with one of the oldest speakers bureaus on the planet, which was a miracle that found me when COVID hit, because I put it out in the universe. One day I'm speaking in India, one day I'm speaking in Dubai. I don't know how it's going to happen. And I trusted. And sure enough, they found me when COVID hit. So now I'm with them,
All
which
right,
is
you
so cool.
talk about this offline. Now I'm watching the clock, Elvira, and I want to be respectful of our
Yes.
and
Yes.
I know you have some other commitments too.
Yes. I'm going to the theater tonight with my
I know
hubby.
so much fun.
Our marriage used to be hell on wheels. Ego nearly killed us, but today it's heaven on earth. That's another bonus to doing this inner work that came through me at rock bottom is you become a miracle magnet in every area of your life. Yeah.
Yeah, if we can just, I really think of it like choose the area that is most naturally your zone of genius, put more attention and more time, more energy there, and that is going to increase your satisfaction, your joy, your fulfillment across all the areas. And you're
Exactly.
going to really
Exactly.
energize your life. So
Yeah.
it's now time for us to close. Now, those of you who have hung in here till the end, awesome. Would you do me a favor? Would you please share this? Because, all my guests just give their time. They come and give their time. They give away gifts. I give my time. And I pretty much pay for the show, but I got sponsors. I'm starting to have sponsors
Nice. I love that.
always that this message go out to as many people as possible, especially
Yeah.
those business or starting businesses, because I know I've been there 24 years ago when I started with $1,000 and a lot of boobs, not a lot of balls, because that, and I know try to get going with very little. And my prayer is that this show be a place that you can go on YouTube, Dr. Barnsley Brown, find
Yeah.
all. There's a year and a half, and when you're facing something like I don't know how to do social media, how do I start a podcast, whatever, go look for the episode about that. Or I
Yeah.
want to be a millionaire. What do I need to do? Go look for the episode, and
Great.
while you're washing dishes or walking the dog or whatever, grocery
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah.
Powerful. Here's the
Yeah.
thing, everybody. We have a freebie vault with the Bold Badass Business Show, and I'm gonna give you the very important thing to write down now. Get ready. This is your access. Those of you listening, my amazing, incredible, kick-ass, badass listeners, you are because you're here listening. Even if you don't feel like a badass, I'm calling you one because you're here with us. I want you to go to bit.ly bit.ly/free from Dr. B, which is DRB. So bit.ly/free from Dr. BRB. And just go right there, and you're going to find that at least by tomorrow or Monday, Elvira's will be in there. It may already be in there because I have my VA working on it. But it should be there for sure by Monday. Her gift will be there. But you get access to over 60 gifts. You all, there are courses, there are complimentary sessions worth thousands of dollars. And so go in there and find the things that interest you, and you can also check out the different episodes that interest you. So, Elvira, just in a quick 10 seconds, 20 seconds, tell us what it is you're giving everybody that's going to be
Yes,
at
yes. So
preview.
I am so proud to give you this today because it is a beautiful teaching that was divinely gifted to me 2 years after I got the Love Your Vibe Miracle Mindset. I was divinely gifted the 4 circles of personal power. And essentially, it is a beautiful teaching from my signature course that allows you to take back your power from anybody who's ever tried to take it from you. You hear the story of my cousin who bullied me when I came to Canada for many years, and then just over, just approximately 13 years ago is when I got this teaching where she stopped bullying me because I was able to take back my power, and this is how I did it. So for anybody that wants to have better boundaries, make sure people don't cross, and be bullies in their lives, this is a great way to do it. So I'd love you to check it out.
I love that. That is fabulous. And Azadeh is asking, can you put the link in the comments? I would love to, Azadeh, but I'm on my phone since we have no, and I can't even figure where I can do that. But would you put it? If you'd put it, that would be great. My
You
friend
know what? Oh,
Elvira,
okay.
what it
I
is.
I don't know if I can, but here's what Azadeh could do if you
But I
don't mind me
take it to
sharing.
the, hang on. Let me give
Yeah.
it to her.
Okay.
Azadeh, it's HTTPS:/. So make sure you put the HTTPS:// All right, HTTPS:// And then after the // you will put BIT, like a horse's bit in their mouth, BIT.ly / free from Dr. B, free from DRB. So it's https:// bit.ly / free from Dr. B. And I promise as soon as I get off here, I'll go into Facebook. Oh, she got it. Free from that. You got it.
Yay.
Dang. Yeah,
So
perfect.
good.
Thank you. So, and I will also go in and add it to some of the other places that this is streaming right now. Well, Elvira, you have been a phenomenal guest. I knew you would be. You know, I call you Miss Amazing, Miss Amazing. No, I should call you Miss Miracle, Miss. You are, and I think sharing so vulnerably with us about your depression and about that rock bottom and how you turned it around. And I really feel like this episode is going to make such a difference for people who are going through similar. And I just want to say to everybody, when you're feeling that way, when you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, you know why? It's because something else is wanting to come out of you. Your
Yes.
spirit is yearning for something. Because I know I
Yes.
feeling that way, and I was just and then I realized, oh, it's because I'm not spending time writing, I'm not
Yes.
or revising. And as soon as I just added a little bit of writing and revising into my week, like here, there, and everywhere,
Yeah.
just 15 minutes here and there, I started to feel better. So my
Yes.
for everybody is to ask your spirit, ask your soul, what is it I really need? What am I yearning for? And maybe it's just playtime, time that you'll play a
Yeah.
puzzle together,
Yeah.
time outdoors with vitamin D, coming onto your face. Or maybe you need to go to the ocean and go into the salt water and breathe the
Yeah.
good ionized air. Ask your spirit or soul what you need, and then resolve that you matter yourself, right, Elvira?
Yeah, amen. If I can just finish one last thing, if you don't mind, Barnsley. I'm the founder of the Miracle Magnet movement that states all modalities matter. That's why I'm gathering all these modalities on my platform so that we can share more modalities with the world. Mine's just one. It saved my life. I'm the mouthpiece for it. And I say I'm like Mick Jagger at the front with the mic, but the real rock stars are in the back facilitating. And so the idea is that there's over 8 billion people on the planet, and there's over 8 billion ways to love your vibe and be a miracle magnet. You get to choose what works for you. And you just mentioned a whole bunch of things there that people can do to raise their vibration so they can be a miracle magnet zone. So I
I
just want
love
to
it.
commend you for saying that. Yeah.
Thank you, Elvira. I missed some of that. Hopefully, you all could hear it. They're grinding the coffee. I
Oh.
guess they're getting ready for coming in after work who need coffee before they go have a fun Friday night. But everybody, thank you for tuning in to Bold Badass Business every 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 1:30 p.m. Pacific. We're right here. Facebook. Please go to our YouTube as well. Just go to YouTube and put in Dr. Barnsley Brown. You can see how my name is spelled right there. And please subscribe because I have made a decision. We're building the YouTube. Really, your support matters because once I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can begin to accept little donations, $1, $2, whatever y'all want to give to support there. But I need those 1,000 subscribers of amazing people like you. So would you kindly go there, youtube.com, and look for Dr. Barnsley Brown and subscribe because I want this to grow. I want the message, I want the message of these amazing guests like Elvira to go out and create a ripple of power and positivity on the planet. And thank you, Elvira, for being here. We love
Oh,
you.
thank you for inviting me. I love you, sister.
All
Bye,
right.
everyone.
Be bold and a badass, everyone. I'll see you next week. We have an amazing guest next week, not to be missed. I'm telling you. Woohoo!